Hello from Coleman & Company. This is Stephanie introducing you to our Spot Lifter 2 product. Now, this is a big deal because when you're sewing embroidery, if let's say you have an item that's a favorite, like this is one of my favorite shirts, or a customer brings you an item that is something that, you know, they only have one of, or gosh, they spent $50 on the shirt, the last thing you want is to have a drop of oil or a spot of oil be a reason that you have to return it to them or say, hey, where'd you get the shirt? I have to buy another one. That's your income out the window, and that's an unhappy customer to hear that you messed up their garment. So this is a lifesaver. What I've got here today is I've got a little lint brush that will help us with using it today. And on this shirt, one of my favorite shirts, an oil spill. Now an oil spill can happen large or small. If you're oiling your needle, you're sure that a couple drops or two might happen, or an oops like this, a big spot. What do? Well, with this spot lifter, I'm gonna lay this flat so I can view the area that's damaged, okay? I'm gonna take my can, give it a good shake to make sure that it's ready to go. And then I'm gonna douse the area nice and heavy, about 8 to 12 inches away, okay? And as I make that circle, we're gonna let it dry. It takes about 15 minutes to dry, so after I spray it, I'm probably gonna walk away, and then I can give it a chance to kind of dry and fully cake over, which is gonna absorb those oils and be able to remove it right from the garment. Let's do it. Okay, so here's the main one and here's the secondary. So I'm gonna douse it here. Gonna leave a little caking. I'm gonna douse it here. Okay, nice and doused. Note, might dust your hands a little bit. That is ready. Now I'm just gonna let that sit and make sure it's good. If it happens to be a heavier oil spot, or if there's fresh oil on there, what I would recommend, just to give you a recommendation, is see how this is nice and evenly spotted? If you have a concentrated area, you can put down and it'll leave like almost like a little moist area there. Let that dry. It's a great spot treatment if you have something that's extra heavy soiled. Otherwise, the spray that I did earlier is plenty. So we'll let that sit for 15 minutes and then we'll see what it's done. I'll see you there. Welcome back. All right, we've let this fully dry. You can kind of see, and I hope you can see here, it looks like a desert. It's really dry right there in the middle. It's actually cracked and caked. That's where we put it extra heavy, where I said that if you have something that is super saturated or has a really big spot, you might want to make it a little heavier. All right, so here I've got a lint brush to a little aid me. A little stiff brush would be fine. As you can see, these bristles are like a toothbrush, so you want to make sure that's nice and firm like that. And then you're going to simply sweep away. Now you'll have some extra powder right here next to me. I've got a little trash can. I would recommend to do that because you don't want to have powder all over your workspace. You can see it's gonna lighten up there. I'm gonna move this over and shake it and I'll bring it right back. Just get this powder knocked off. Okay, now, so I'm sweeping it. Just removing any of the extra powder in the material. Okay, and as you can see, all the little area, that the little ricochet of powder, just for my own purposes though, I'm sweeping it off. Look at that, beautiful. Oh, I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite shirts. I was scared to have it ruined, but look at that. There is no oil stain. I don't know if you can see. It's got a little bit of dusting, which I'm sure washing will just remove, but the biggest thing to remove is that oil stain, and that oil stain, if I give it a good wipe, no oil stain. It's been completely removed. Now the extra powder, with the brushes you saw, I was able to sweep it away. I'm still gonna wash my garment, but if it's just one little oil spot on your garment for the customer you're sewing, you obviously don't need to wash it. But look at that, no oil stain. You can't even see where it was or where it would have been. I'm so excited. Wonderful. All right, again, this has been Stephanie from Coleman & Company introducing you to the Spot Lifter 2. Make sure to visit us at colemanandcompany.com. Remember, Coleman with no E. That's C-O-L-M-A-N and company.com. See you there.